All right, so if you've been shooting weddings or you're getting into shooting weddings, you know that it's a very particular job which needs particular tools. That's why I set up my wedding filmmaking rig like this. This is it. It's nothing fancy, it's light, it's mobile, and it's everything I need. Now when I started shooting weddings, I started on the Fujifilm X-H2S, which I'm filming on right now, and I loved it. Loved the image, loved the colors coming out of it, but the autofocus was always a little bit of a problem. Now in wedding filmmaking, your moments only occur once. They don't occur 5 times, they don't occur twice, they don't occur 3 times, they occur once. You can't be like, sorry, can you take those rings off and put them back on, or can you do that first look again? It doesn't work that way. It's wedding filmmaking, you have to nail your shot. So gradually I moved into a different system with reliable autofocus. And that's why I've been using the Sony FX30 as my wedding filmmaking camera. Now your camera body and your lens is going to be the core of your setup. You can put all these different kinds of accessories on it, but the main core is going to be your body and your lens, and that's the most important thing. So FX30 APS-C Super 35, it is kind of the baby FX3. I've made a video about that before. I like APS-C because it gives me additional reach. It's light, it's more affordable, and I don't really feel like I need full frame cameras. So the FX30 is great. It's got 10-bit color, it has 4K 60 uncropped, it has 4K 120, but that's an additional crop. It's super reliable, it has always delivered in terms of autofocus. It's no magic machine. I've talked about it before. People are calling Sony's autofocus magic. It's not magic. It certainly isn't magic, but this has probably given me about a 95% hit ratio on my shots, which is incredible. Whereas like with the X-H2S, it was maybe like 75%, maybe 80%. In wedding filmmaking, that is huge. That is the difference between not getting the shot and getting the shot. Now the lens I use, I've talked about this before too, is the Tamron 17-70. I don't know if you can see it in between my monitor here. Super clutch lens. It's super light. It has awesome reach. It's around your typical 24-105 lens full frame. Super crucial to get those detail shots close in. You have your wide, you have your medium, you have everything you want. Plus it's way lighter than your full frame counterparts. Now in wedding filmmaking, you have to run around all day. You have to get crazy shots. You have to kneel down. You have to get your gimbal shots. You have to constantly be running around and getting different angles. So I don't like breaking my back. I just prefer APS-C for these kind of jobs because it's so light. Like you're so nimble and you don't really feel weighted down by your rig. Now, of course, with heavier rigs, this is going to help you to get rid of those micro jitters. So you're gonna have much smoother handheld footage. This is way lighter, so you're gonna be more prone to having micro jitters, but you just have to get used to your camera. And right now I do feel confident in getting all types of shots with a smooth handheld look, even on this light of a setup. And talking about stabilization, this FX30 has 2 modes of stabilization. You have the standard and active stabilization. Now in the active stabilization, I have noticed that it's really good for like your push-ins or your pans where your body is static, but you don't want to be in motion with your body and your camera. So like a running type of shot where I move the camera, or I'm running in front of the couple, or I'm just getting close-ups of their feet or hands. I do tend to think that the active stabilization is doing a little bit too much and you're getting like a crazy wobble. So for those type of shots, I like using standard stabilization and then using stabilization in post. That is what's giving me the best results. That's what I've noticed, but stabilization, in my opinion, is very good on this camera. In terms of rigging this up, I use the small rig cage. Small rig is the goat of doing all kinds of accessories for your camera. You have your small rig cage, small rig side handle, small rig top handle. I even have a dual charger, small rig dual charger for my batteries. That's another thing. I only use internal batteries. As you can see, I don't use a feed mount or anything like that. Most of my weddings I have just done on those 3 batteries, but I always bring my dual charger with me. You always have power outlets in your venues or anything like that. Super clutch when you do need to recharge one of your batteries. So I have the side handle, small rig as well. The top handle, it's a more ergonomic one. You can kind of slide your fingers in. I do have another one here, also small rig one, but this is like your most basic one. Not really ergonomic, but it will get the job done either way. But I like using this one because I do like using this small rig monitor mount as well. It's kind of fluid with my handle, and then I can just adjust my monitor as I want. For the monitor, I am using a Portkeys PT5 monitor, 5-inch monitor, one of the most affordable monitors on the market. I think I paid around 130 bucks for it. I do have a sun hood, so in your bright conditions, I don't have the side mounts for it right now, but I do have like this kind of sun hood that will keep your screen a little bit more bright in those really sunny conditions. I like using a monitor because I can just see things better. You also have your exposure tools on your monitor, which is super nice. You have waveform, you have false color, you have zebras and everything like that. Because the in-camera exposure tools on Sony are a little bit lacking. You have your histogram, you have your zebras, but something like waveform really gives you a nice idea of where your exposure is. So I use that all the time on weddings, and it's just way nicer to look at your monitor right here and be running, gunning, just looking like that, nimble, you're ready to rock. Whereas like if I have to look at my screen here, like on the side, your handle is kind of in the way with your body, and then you have to like glance down, your microphone is in the way, so just a little bit lacking in that regard. So I do recommend getting a monitor. It doesn't have to be expensive. Like I said, this one is like 130 bucks. It really makes your life easier, and it's just a nicer filming experience for yourself too. You can also load LUTs in here, but your FX30 also provides that in camera. Moving on to audio. Now, I do record the speeches of a bride and groom always to incorporate in my videos. And I do that with the DJI mics. I have one clipped on my chest right now. These are super clutch, really nice audio. And then for in-camera audio, the Boya BWMM1. I think I paid around 25 or 30 bucks for this mic. Usually I run it with the windshield, but when it's not really windy, I take it off. It's a little bit less bulky that way, and I just run it like that. In my opinion, the audio captured by this microphone is good. It's good enough. I never really felt the need to upgrade. And then one more thing, which is super clutch when you're filming weddings or anything outdoors, is an ND filter. So I have one of this brand called Earth. It's an ND 2 to 400. This is a variable ND. You can slide it open and close it back down. And this kind of regulates how much light is getting into your sensor. And that is super important if you want to shoot in the proper shutter angle. So that allows you to shoot at f1.8, f2.8, those kind of stops outside, getting that nice shallow depth of field while also following the 180-degree shutter angle rule. But when you're going inside in venues and you need a little bit extra light, because APS-C, smaller sensor, less light hitting that sensor. So f2.8 in APS-C is way different than an f2.8 in full frame in terms of how much light the sensor gathers. When that occurs and we're going inside and we need more light hitting your sensor, I go with the Sigma 18-35, which is a legendary lens. It's been out for, I don't know, plus 10 years. I picked this up secondhand a couple of years ago for I think 400 euros. And I run that with a Sigma MC11 adapter. And that's a combo that gives me an extra stop of light. I think it's one stop of light, not sure. That gives me extra light in general, which is going to help me keep those ISOs down. So that's it. That's my wedding filmmaking rig. Now, once again, these are my preferences. I like APS-C because of the weight, the affordability, and the reach you get. Keeping it light, no V-mount, running internal batteries, keeping it small, compact, nimble, also inconspicuous because when you turn up with a whole rig on a wedding, it's heavy. This is acceptable, and your guests won't be like, oh my God, this big TV broadcast camera in my face. And then they tend to freeze up. So to anyone who is starting wedding filmmaking or already into wedding filmmaking, what are your preferences? Do you like full frame? Do you like APS-C? Do you like rigging it out, keeping it small and compact? Just let me know in the comments and we'll have a conversation. So good luck to you capturing one of people's most beautiful days in their lives. And if you like me talking about wedding filmmaking and maybe giving out some tips or anything like that, just let me know in the comments and we'll talk about it later. Bye.